theatre is poetry that rises from the book and becomes human enough to talk and shout, weep and despair. Theatre as an art form developed 5,000 years ago in India. The earliest form of Indian theatre was the Sanskrit theatre. It emerged sometime between the 15th century BC. It started as recitation, singing and dancing. The major source of evidence for Sanskrit theatre is a treatise on theatre also called Natyashastra by Bharata Muni. He said that theatre stems from the gods and teaches about duties. Natyashastra comprises of all aspects of drama, including theatre architecture, makeup, the performers' movements, etc. Modern Indian theatre developed during the period of colonial rule under the British Empire from the mid-19th century until the mid-20th. The theatre we see nowadays is different from the traditional ones. To further understand that, we have taken the example of new play called A Very Normal Family.
So the plot was born from Roshan, actually, the director. He came home, we were talking, and then he said he had an idea for a play, and he had an idea for a scene. Actually, it was the opening scene of this play that he had in his head, where he's got this family and they're sitting outside on like a veranda, and it's late in the night. There's no power in the house, and there's this whole discussion about Tina's divorce has been, discussed and over again, and everything's been said. So people are just sitting there, slapping at mosquitoes for some time. And then the grandmother, Ammachi, says, it would be so much better if he dies. That was it. That was the scene he had in his head for the play. And then he told me this scene. And I thought it was a fantastic opening point for the entire thing. So I said, okay, let me write something.
Okay, come on.
A Very Normal Family is a 90-minute play and a dark comedy that throws light on how an Orthodox Christian family reacts to a social stigma such as divorce, with elements of satire and humor keeping the audience at the edge of their seats. It marks the directorial debut of Anandam and Moothon fame Roshan Matthew. This bilingual production, written by Francis Thomas, made its debut at the Mathrubhumi International Festival of Letters in Trivandrum. It has a stellar cast that includes Divya Prabha, Shanti Balachandran, Darshana Rajendran, Rajesh Madhavan, Shyam Prakash, Sanjay Menon and Siddharth Varma.
The first time I had the idea must have been 2015, early 2015. Our story is an exaggeration of a certain kind of mindset which is very common in our society. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ചിന്തിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരുന്നാൽ എന്തൊക്കെ സംഭവിക്കാം, അത് നമ്മളിപ്പോൾ ഈ ചിന്തിച്ചുകൊണ്ടിരിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങളൊക്കെ നേരെ പ്രവൃത്തിയിലേക്ക് കൺവേർട്ട് ചെയ്താൽ എന്തൊക്കെ സംഭവിക്കാം എന്നുള്ളൊരു, അല്ലാണ്ട് നമ്മുടെ ഈ നാടകത്തിൽ കാണിക്കുന്ന കാര്യങ്ങൾ ശരിക്കും ഒരാൾ ചെയ്യാനുള്ള സാധ്യത വളരെ കുറവാണ്. പക്ഷെ ആ കാര്യങ്ങൾ എല്ലാവരും ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്, അല്ലെങ്കിൽ അലോങ് ദോസ് ലൈൻസ് എല്ലാവരും ചിന്തിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെ ഒരു സെറ്റിങ്ങിൽ ഡാർക്ക് കോമഡി സീം ലൈക്ക് എ പെർഫെക്റ്റ് ജോണർ.
തിയേറ്റർ സിനിമയിലും കൂടി ഉള്ളതാണ്, സിനിമയിലും തിയേറ്റർ ഉള്ളതാണ്. നമുക്ക് തിയേറ്ററിൻ്റെ സാധ്യതകളെല്ലാം സിനിമയിലേക്ക് വളരെ ഭംഗിയായിട്ട് ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ പറ്റും. സിനിമയ്ക്ക് കുറച്ചും കൂടി ടെക്നിക്കാലിറ്റിയും കൂടെ ഉണ്ട്, തിയേറ്റർ കുറച്ചും കൂടി ഓർഗാനിക്കാണ് വർക്ക്. അപ്പോൾ എന്താ ആക്ഷനും കട്ടിനും ഇടയിൽ പെർഫോം ചെയ്യുന്ന ബുദ്ധിമുട്ടുകൾ നാടകത്തിൽ നമുക്കുണ്ടാവില്ല. നമുക്ക് നാടകം തുടങ്ങിക്കഴിഞ്ഞ് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ അത് തീർന്ന വരെ നമുക്കൊരു ക്യാരക്ടറായി ജീവിക്കാം. അതിൻ്റെ കൈത്തിരിയിലാണ് എന്താ ചെറിയൊരു വ്യത്യാസം ആക്ടിങ്ങിലുള്ള സിനിമയും തിയേറ്ററും തമ്മിലുള്ള ചെറിയൊരു വ്യത്യാസം പറയുന്നത്.
Theatre is especially exciting because it's live, so you don't get a chance to do a retake. You have to be present throughout, and there's also a special energy that comes from performing for a live audience in in that space, and you're in the zone for the duration of the play. So that's definitely exciting. It's also challenging, but it's definitely something that makes theatre a very enriching experience for an actor. I think the amount of time that you put in to develop the character, to go through the scenes, to develop these dynamics between your co-actors, it really shows, that effort really shows when you are up on stage, and that's really exciting for me.
So if you ask me what kind of acting method or technique that I choose, I believe it's not up to me to choose. It has to happen within me, and I believe I'm kind of a method actor, and I'm not very proud about it because you have to be realistic and you have to get into the character and so on, but it doesn't happen to me that way. Which I realized with this play, because I play an eccentric character called Monai in this play, and it's one of those characters which actually kind of stands out from the other characters, and it takes a lot of effort for me to get into that character. So prior to the rehearsals or the show, I started thinking like Monai, I started behaving and acting like Monai, so that okay, I get the hang of it, which I haven't got yet. So as each show passes, I'm just getting there. So I haven't got the full hang of the character yet. So if you ask me in a single word, if I would say, yeah, that's what you call method acting. You try to, once, it's simple. It's like that you taste wine. Once you taste theatre, then you will love it.
Character to play. I felt like one of the biggest things was like we're seeing her go through one of her most difficult phases of life, and I felt like it was most times when I was on stage, it was always an extreme. Like it's either she's really angry or she's really sad or she's, it was all. It was very difficult to find the mellower parts of Tina, or like, it took me a while to sort of see it, how her everyday interactions would have been like, or what she is like normally, because most of the scenes that Tina had were explosive, or like, so I think that was, or like just the more vulnerable side of this character was, it took me a while to start.
Okay, in the play I am playing the character called Jiku. Jiku is the youngest of the three children in the family. Jiku is very unlike me. So we know the characters beforehand. We character assign the characters, we all know. We all played each character at some point. So we know each character. So when Roshan told me that I'm going to play Jiku, I was really, really scared, because this character is very unlike, he's very immature, and ഭയങ്കരമായ ഒരു പൊട്ടത്തരമാണ് എൻ്റെ കൂടുതൽ കാര്യങ്ങൾ. അപ്പോൾ എനിക്ക് എൻ്റെ തോട്ട് പ്രോസസ് എല്ലാം കുറച്ചും കൂടെ മെച്ചുവറാണ് ദാൻ ജിക്കു. സോ I was very reluctant and I was very, very afraid about doing Jiku.
It's quite difficult to describe theatre in 3 words, but when I say theatre, when I think about theatre, the words that come to my mind is life, happiness, and life.
Overall, I think
it's a really all the characters in the play have shades of grey. They all have their own little secrets, and that's what makes the play very exciting. It's very contemporary. It talks about a theme that is very relevant, but it's still presented in a slightly absurd manner, and it's dark comedy at its best.